There's a saying that I learnt from someone this week, and the saying is, everyone talks about the digital revolution. So what is the digital revolution? You know what I think it is, Ellen? I think it's a person who sleeps with an iPhone and a BlackBerry on the bed next to them. And there's a lot of people that do that. They're online 24 hours a day. So a revolution doesn't happen. I heard this lovely quote, a revolution doesn't happen when the tools are made available. A revolution happens when people change their behaviour. And I think now with just the extraordinary proliferation of smartphones and the increasing use of the internet to engage with customers, customer behaviour is just changing at an extraordinary rate. So customers, if you think about how people communicate with each other, all of the young people out there on the streets here in Singapore, they're sending one another text messages, they're interacting on the internet through Facebook and Twitter, and this is how they communicate. But if they need to ring their telco, they have to ring a number, dial a number, they have to sit in a queue, they have to wait, they have to listen to messages about how important they are, and they don't know when they're going to be answered. Finally they get through to an agent who may not be able to help them because they've got the wrong skills or they're not the right agent. And I don't think that this new generation of customer is going to endure that. I think that they will move inevitably to companies that let them connect immediately, will tell them when they are going to be communicated with if they're not ready to answer the call or take the call, either through a text message or a voice message, and is going to provide a person who can provide the outcome that the customer is looking for. First call resolution. And I just think that that's happening very quickly. And so enterprise is lagging right now. It's way behind. And Mike this morning talked about a large, iconic Singaporean company that is a beautiful company with a beautiful product, but when you phone them in their call centre, that whole promise is not delivered. It's a completely different experience. I don't think that the generational thing's got anything to do with it. Certainly young people like to send text messages. They prefer to chat than speak. I have experience in my own family with that. But, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, had anyone heard of Android? No. No one had heard of it. Didn't exist. Today, it's the third or fourth largest or most common operating system for smartphones in the world. So the proliferation of smartphones, the proliferation of these devices, Gartner tells us that within 2 years, these handheld devices that we walk around town with will be the primary way of connecting to the internet. So it's the immediacy and the availability of information and knowledge and the ability to connect to anything that is changing customer behaviour. And yet enterprise is still ring this number, sit in this queue, listen to this message. And that's the traditional call centre. And that is going to change because competition will force companies to change. CEOs will go call their IT people in and say, what is going on? Why don't we have that? So I think that's what is happening. If you understand relationships, if you think about your own relationships, your personal relationships, your friendships, your business relationships happen one conversation at a time. People don't walk out in the street and see a person and say, oh, I think I'll enter a relationship with that person. At the same time, relationships fall apart one conversation at a time. Just ask, sadly, a married couple who've split up. They don't wake up one morning and suddenly say, oh, we don't think we'll be together anymore. Those relationships break down one conversation at a time. So the role of technology should be completely invisible. The role of technology in enterprise is simply to allow customers to connect immediately to the right person with the right skills to resolve the customer's need to buy something or their concern if they're an existing customer. So technology should be something you don't even think about, because when you need to speak to your telco, it shouldn't be an agony. When you need to speak to an airline, it shouldn't be an agony. You should not have to sit in their queues waiting for them to get around to you and then find that you're speaking to the wrong person. Technology it should be, as I say, invisible. It's just about connecting the customer.